Here we go!
Why are you so fixated on me?
Because you're my friend.
Just give up and let me cut you down already!
What? Universal pool! Oh, bro, this looks so cool, man. I'm Kirinia, the lightning dragon. Okay, Indra's arrow. Bro, he's gonna kill him. Jesus! Ooh, bro. They're both gonna die. Yeah, they're both gonna die, aren't they? Is it a cliffhanger? Hello guys, welcome back to my reaction channel. Today we are going to be doing something different. We are going to be reacting to Set the Programmers What If Itachi Uchiha Went to the 5 Kage Summit. Now we did the one where it was Pain going to the 5 Kage Summit, and all of you or most of you were on board with the fact that Pain would probably slaughter most of them, right? But now we have Itachi Uchiha, and now that I think about it, Itachi's pretty much like Sasuke was, only better, faster, more proficient, smarter, right? So Sasuke did some hefty damage against Gaara, Raikage, all of them, and then he was nuked by the Tsuchikage and saved by Tobi, right? But Itachi, like, I think he would be smart enough not to underestimate nobody, and he would be prepared for most of it. And I think the minute he enters that room, everybody would be in a Genjutsu probably. So I kind of see this going to Itachi, right? But let's see what Seth has to say and what you guys have to say in the comments. Feel free to express yourselves, and yeah, let's jump straight into this. But before we do, if you enjoy my reactions, feel free to share, subscribe, like, leave a comment, ring the bell for notifications, guys. Follow me on Instagram, join my Discord server, and my Patreon page. Without further ado, man, let's jump right into this reaction. Oh, let's go.
Hello everyone, it's your host, Set the Programmer. With me today, I have Overweight Man. We're going to be talking about Itachi at the 5 Kage Summit.
Okay.
Now, before we get into the video, I'd like to proudly announce that this video has been sponsored by Bloodline, Heroes of Lit.
Okay, I'm gonna fast forward this. Okay, I just fast forwarded that promotion. It's a sponsorship, doesn't matter, let's go.
Because, I don't know, it sounded cool, you know? You see Sasuke at the Kage Summit, and you're like, low-key hearing him get compared to Itachi the entire time. Whether it be his Genjutsu, his control of Amaterasu, or whatever it is, he gets compared to Itachi. And I think even in the data books, they actually compare Itachi to Sasuke at this point pretty directly. And I also wanted to go over what it would be like for Kisame to also roll up in there, because, you know, Sasuke had all his boys with him, so we thought, you know, let's throw Kisame in there. So it basically...
Whoa, so instead of Sasuke's boys, we're adding, like, instead of Sasuke, we're adding Itachi. Instead of Sasuke's boys, we're adding Kisame. Ooh, that's another ball game, bro. That is another ball game. Kisame ain't no joke, bro. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they would... that's actually an interesting one. Yeah, I think Itachi alone wins this. And with Kisame on top, But then again, I mean, Danzo had some hacks and Tsuchikage with the particle style. Itachi can't really block that. He has to put Onoki in a Genjutsu beforehand, right? Or, right? Because if he encases him in that square, it's GG.
What if Itachi and Kisame went to the Kage Summit? And we can just say hypothetically, maybe Obito just threw them in there to harass the Kage to make them, like, listen to his demands better or something, which is sort of what the plan was low-key anyway,
Sasuke,
on top of training Sasuke. So we'll just say that he kind of just sent them there for that purpose rather than training one of them or something. So that was the only purpose. So we could maybe say that he would plant little Zetsus on everybody or whatever as well. That's a possibility.
Okay.
Maybe he'd show up at the very end, you know, like he did with Sasuke. And I guess we'll kind of just do it in like the story order where Itachi and Kisame, they would raid the summit, And then the Raikage would be like, "What did you do to my brother?" And then like he would like ram out there and then
Like
fight
you
them.
can even have him like
go over how
come
that's
in on the same energy. Like let's just say Sasuke captured B as well.
Yeah.
It's like, where's your brother at? He kidnapped my brother or something like that.
I mean, if it makes it like less headcanony or whatever, we can just say that Itachi was captured.
Yeah, I mean either or.
You know, like
for whatever reason.
Well, it doesn't matter. Like the reason why Itachi is there instead of Sasuke doesn't really matter. We just inserting Itachi instead of Sasuke and then go from there. Like they're just, it doesn't matter.
They're at the summit.
Yeah.
And then the Raikage comes in, you know, I'm going to show you true fury or whatever. And then him and Itachi get the scrapping. So it's Itachi.
Such a bad line.
It's Itachi and Kisame, and they're in the room. Their main opponents, anyway, at this point, is going to be Raikage, Darui, and C.
Yeah, but Sasuke put C in a genjutsu like that, so I'm assuming Itachi's gonna do it even more proficiently, right? And he's probably gonna do it to the Raikage as well, because Raikage is charging straight for him, and Itachi just needs to pick up his finger and it's GG. So I think like the way I'm looking at it, like Sasuke at that point was strong, but Itachi was stronger, faster, like more proficient, better in genjutsu, smarter. Like it's just like an amped up Sasuke at that point. So I think, like, and plus he has Kisame there. Like Kisame is way stronger than Jugo and Suigetsu and Kari. Then again, Kari was very good with her sensory abilities because she sensed that C was a sensory type as well. That's why Sasuke straight out put him in a genjutsu straight away, because he was a threat, right? But then again, like I said, Itachi is hella smart, so I think he would also deduce quickly that that guy needs to go.
Sort of think the way Itachi and Kisame work. Kisame normally lets Itachi handle like the big guys. Like he was the same way with Jiraiya. He was like, I don't know if I can take him, so I'm gonna let you have it. And when they were getting away, obviously it was Itachi who opened the hole in the giant frog belly to get away. So Kisame is probably gonna start fighting with C and Darui, and Itachi's gonna fight the Raikage. Now, when it comes to the difficulty of both fights, I think Kisame versus Darui and C is gonna go fairly simply, and there's a few reasons why. So Kisame, just before the summit, a little bit before the B fight, Kisame has a fight with Suigetsu where he's like holding back. It's while Itachi and Sasuke are fighting.
Okay.
And then after that, when they're having their little conference with Obito, Sasuke tells Suigetsu, just back off Kisame. You can't beat Kisame. And then we got Suigetsu, who's running into the summit, and he's able to block a holding back Raikage at the same time that Jugo blocks Darui. So if that's the case, and you just do some linear like ABC type scaling from there, like okay, Suigetsu and Kisame is a little bit stronger. They're around the same level as Jugo, who's faster than Darui. And then C is sort of like the hangback guy, so it's not implied he's all too combat pickle. Oh my god, it's
combat pickle. That goes crazy.
What is happening?
He's thinking about food already.
It's not implied he's all too combat applicable outside of his genjutsu, which you don't even know if C could genjutsu someone with as much chakra as Kisame. Like, would it be like, since you inject your chakra into someone else to control their senses or whatever, is it just like C drops his chakra into Kisame's ocean of chakra? So it's sort of like trying to dye the ocean red with a
What are you talking about? Like, Itachi put Naruto in a genjutsu like that, and Naruto can pretty much run circles around Itachi when it comes to chakra, so that doesn't have anything to do with anything. You're just making shit up. But maybe I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. But yeah, that guy was definitely a good genjutsu user, because Sasuke was like, oh, I need to neutralize that guy, and he put him in a genjutsu straight away. So I think, again, they're doing the basic ABC. If this guy can beat that guy, then this guy who's even stronger, no. Like Naruto, like some people are just bad matchups. I'm not saying Kisame would lose, but that's a bad argument in my opinion. So yeah, the guy with the genjutsu C might actually give Kisame a run for his money. He might put him in a genjutsu long enough for Darui to chop his head off or some shit like that. So you never know. In my opinion, it might not go so linear, but okay, I do agree that Kisame is a powerhouse, so yeah, he would probably win. It's just that the argument doesn't make sense.
Drop of food coloring or something like that. So you can't really prove C can genjutsu Kisame. And then with Kisame versus Darui, like I said earlier, he's just faster. He can absorb tons of chakra in one swipe. I think like up to 6 tails of a V1 cloak from B. So that fight's going pretty simply, at least the way I broke it down. But you can get into Itachi versus Raikage.
Yeah, so some interesting facts about Itachi is that apparently it's stated that the only time, or the first time, Sasuke begins to surpass Itachi in really any capacity when it comes to like ocular abilities and all of that is when he actually gets the EMS. So everything you see in the War Arc versus Jubito, what you see versus Sage Kabuto, all of those scraps would be what would be considered above Itachi's alive, arsenal with his eyes, basically. Like, maybe not with Edo. Maybe Edo Tensei is a bit different because his body's healthier, or whatever you want to say, however you want to cope with it. But basically, what it's implying is that the Itachi that we see throughout the series that was suppressed versus CM2 Sasuke, Curse Mark 2 Sasuke, and no diff to Orochimaru in like 2 seconds with his Susanoo. Now, when it comes to that, it is highly unlikely that the Raikage would just absolutely just lariat bomb, or whatever, or elbow chop him, or kill him in one hit, as Sasuke is obviously weaker than Itachi. At least implied heavily.
Yeah, I mean, I think Raikage and all other Kage knew at that point who Itachi was, so he would be on guard. As with Sasuke, he was like, this little snotty brat is here to kind of like bump chest with me, bro. I'm gonna show him and teach him a thing or two, right? So with Itachi, I don't think he would rush in. He would actually play it a bit smarter. But with Sasuke, he saw it as a challenge. Like, well, look at this little puny brat thinking he's all that, right? So it would be a bit different.
And he could still react to all of those version 1 techniques. And mainly when the version 2 Raikage comes out, Itachi is a sensory type, and he probably knows a lot about the Raikage, just like they seem to know a lot about Itachi's abilities. And he would probably know if he isn't fast enough to react to the Raikage, which I'd actually say he is, granted what we see from Edo Itachi.
He's pretty fast.
But even if you said he's, for whatever reason, he's just like vaguely faster than MS Sasuke, he would probably know enough to just activate his Susanoo or some type of Susanoo, and then the Raikage just actually cannot do really feasibly anything to him. Even like later on when we see the Raikage fight Madara, that Madara is just kind of like messing around, and even then he could barely damage like Madara's ribcage a lot of the time. Even Tsunade, who's stronger than him, punching like Madara as hard as she can, it kind of like blasts chunks in just like the normal ribcage Susanoo, and they kind of have to like do like multiple combos just to like beat up like a really like lesser possessed Susanoo for Madara.
Okay, I have a question, a genuine question. Are all the Susanoos the same in strength and durability? Like, I would assume Madara is way higher on the list than Itachi Susanoo, but maybe they're all the same. If that's the case, then what he's saying is true. If not, maybe comparing Madara to Itachi, I don't know, like, right? Because Madara should be above, right, when it comes to endurance and all that, chakra and all. But hey, maybe all the Susanoo's are the same, right, when it comes. I mean, then again, Itachi does have the Yata mirror, right, which is like a very powerful shield. Of course, it's not only directional, but still. So yeah, he can use that, I guess.
Not even like armored or anything like that. So yes, if Itachi whipped it out, the Raikage probably is not doing anything. Let's be real. But I think something that's more interesting, and I was talking to Six about this, is Kisame versus the Raikage. Like, if that went down. Because we were reading Kisame versus B, and something that Kisame can do is that he can just rip away a bunch of tails from Killer Bee's Chakra Cloak, which are pretty comparable to the Raikage's version 1 Lightning Cloak, right? Version 1 Lightning Cloak is implied to be comparable to like a few tails of B, or maybe his version 2 state, and then version 2 Raikage is what's comparable to like full 8 Tails Killer
Yeah,
Bee, as an example. So an interesting like little dissection you can have is if the Raikage like toyed around with Kisame like he did with Suigetsu and Jugo and all of them, which he literally did. He actually toyed around with Sasuke even when he's basically like bloodlusted and wants to kill him. He's still suppressed when he first comes out. So something interesting you can say is Kisame might be able to absorb a ton of chakra from the Raikage and potentially whip out his water bubble, and then after that happens, it's really weird to say like how that would go down from there. Like
but Raikage uses lightning style, and if he's in a water bubble, GG Kisame, because he can't really escape like lightning in water, so it's kind of a bad matchup, right? Sure, he's gonna be faster than Raikage in water, but you can't really be faster than lightning because Raikage only has to do this. Lightning style, lightning, thunder, whatever, right? And then it's a wrap. But he can definitely zap a bit of his chakra like he did with the bee. I agree with that. But then again, then he can use that chakra to kind of heal himself. We saw that as well with Samehada, right? Once Raikage blows half of his body away. So Kisame would definitely be a threat, but considering that he's a water type, right? Lightning should do some fair damage.
There's a potential solo angle for Kisame with these Cloud Ninja, like 100%. And I think even if the Sand Ninja come and you think they'd give him a problem or whatever, if he doesn't apply the bubble or whatever, Itachi just stomps him out with the Susanoo anyways, fully armored Susanoo. I don't think that's even like a contest. But
true, but he can't maintain that Susanoo for long, bro. Like, right? Because alive Itachi is sick, frail. Yeah, he's not all that. I mean, then again, Sasuke also like struggled with the Susanoo because he that was the first time he activated or some shit, right? And still he maintained it long enough to be a foe. And Itachi's like more proficient in it because he's been using it for a longer time. So maybe, but to maintain it for as long as he would need to defeat both Gaara, Raikage, and everybody, I don't know, bro. It would take a lot. Like it would take a toll on Kisame because he would have to play a significant role because it's only 2 of them.
Like with Kisame absorbing so much chakra, like I said earlier, and I think Seth mentioned just then as well, he can take up to 6 tails of chakra from B. So the Raikage is comparable to the 8 Tails, at least when he goes into the version 2 cloak, not necessarily the version 1 cloak. And even the version 1 cloak, it has varying levels of chakra. Like they can get higher or lower. And obviously when he's in his weaker state, like when he's getting blocked by Suigetsu, he's not at his full power of his V1 or whatever. Because realistically speaking, V1 and V2, these are just like fan terms to help us better understand what we're talking about when we're referring to the Raikage in whatever specific fight. V1 is just the Raikage holding back his lightning cloak to some unknown degree. So if he comes in on the same energy he did with Suigetsu, Kisame might just tear that cloak off. And then what happens with Kisame, when he gets enough chakra, he starts tearing enough chakra away from his opponent, he just gets stronger and stronger because Samehada turns the chakra back into stamina and then gives it to Kisame, so he just never gets tired. And then when he merges with Samehada and turns into what everyone calls Fuse Kisame, he can then absorb chakra just through his skin. Like if he just touches you, he can absorb a massive amount of chakra. Whenever him and B are in the bubble, granted the bubble absorbs chakra as well, so him and B are in the bubble, Kisame makes contact with B's in V2, and he just takes it all away, like to the point where B can't move and he's just on the ground. Literally the only reason B even survived after that point was because Samehada switched sides and went to his side.
But am I tripping, bro? The water bubble would be a bad matchup against lightning. Then again, I don't know, like, right? Because it would directly zap Kisame in the water. Raikage just needs to power up. Then again, does B have lightning style too? I can remember. I think he does. So I don't know. I don't know, bro. Tell me the comments.
So like
Let's go.
if Fuse Kisame comes out, like Seth said, there's like this weird solo angle for Kisame. Like he might beat Darui, C, Raikage, Gaara, Tamari, Kankuro, and all the other samurai just by himself.
If he gets enough energy, I think. But it also depends, once again, on the Raikage's character, because I do think that the implication of B not being able to use his full Eight Tails form in the Kisame fight was sort of indicative of, like, okay, he's being held back on purpose to make it more tense. So I do think maybe, like, version 2 Raikage may give Kisame too much for him to handle. But, you know, if Kisame has enough time to, like, build up off of the Raikage toying around, it's like way more realistic for Kisame to do something there. But once again, even if it is like version 2 Raikage and for whatever reason he just beats up Kisame, like Itachi Susanoo is just never losing to the Raikage. It's just not happening whatsoever. And I'd honestly argue that Itachi is actually just too fast for him. I mean, like, a lot of people have been saying this, like scaling Itachi to the Edo version, but we don't really know how the Edo version is amped or nerfed compared to the original. For instance,
wait, so Itachi's faster than the Raikage? Wasn't it stated that the only one that was faster than the Raikage was Minato? Is Itachi faster than Minato? What the hell is going on here? Tell me in the comments, bro. I don't know. It's been a while since we watched the series together, so maybe I forgot a few things, but what? I mean, Itachi was fast, but was he faster than the Raikage, bro? I don't know.
Edo version could just have, like, more like longevity in battle or something, like, you know, Hiruzen does or something like that. We have no idea really what exactly the amps are, like what the sickness does to Itachi, other than just basic cardio and making it really hard to strain himself. So if that's the case, like, he was scrapping with Naruto and B, and then alongside EMS Sasuke, who was scrapping with like a pretty late war arc KCM Naruto, whether you think he's as fast as KCM 2 at that point in 1.5 or whatever have you when they're fighting Jubito, that's way beyond the Raikage's pay grade, as we know. So I do not see that happening at all with the Raikage's favor. But if you go...
Yeah, but didn't we see Gaara doing pretty well against Sasuke Susanoo with the sand? Like, he was overwhelming him to a point where Sasuke needed to destroy the ceiling in order to escape to the other room. So, like, Gaara's there too. Like, Raikage can just fight Kisame and Gaara, like... Right? I don't know.
And to Mei, which would happen, they'd go to Mei. Mei just gets obliterated by Kisame solo. I don't even talk about her. Like, is that even?
No. Mei is undoubtedly the weakest of the 5 Kages. You get this what I like to call perspective panel or panels in the Madara versus the 5 Kage fight, where it shows you how each of the 5 Kage are doing against the Susanoo clones. I think Onoki's like vaporizing some, Tsunade's body slamming some with punches, and then Raikage's actually body slamming some, like with his wrestling moves. Gaara traps some in sand, and Mei like melts the arm of one and still gets punched. So I think it's being made pretty clear that Mei is the weakest of the 5 Kage there.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know, like lava style, her lava style would be downgraded by Kisame's water style, right? I think that's definitely a bad matchup.
I think one of the more interesting things to go from there is then we see Mifune try to slash Sasuke. If base Sharingan Sasuke is blocking that, okay, Itachi is 100%. You know what I mean? If Danzo knows that Itachi's rolling up into the summit, you'll probably run away, just like he did when Sasuke was. So that'd have to be like a post-summit fight as well. I think the most interesting confrontation would be with Onoki. Now, in actual, like, canon...
Okay, before we go to Onoki, who has the potential to zap both him and Kisame, because he has the experience, he fought Madara in the past, he knows how to combat the Sharingan, so Onoki is no fool, bro. He pretty much carried the war arc when it came to the 5 Kage against Madara. But that aside, what he just said with Danzo is interesting, because Danzo knows everything about Itachi, right? And Danzo ain't no pushover when it comes to the 5 Kage Summit, because he already had the full arm of the Uchiha. That's why he pushed for the massacre of his clan. Back then, he didn't have all those amps. Now, I think he might feel comfortable enough to attack Itachi, considering he doesn't like the Uchiha at all. Yes, I think he might not run away. He might be very, very confident, considering he has Shisui's eye and the full arm. That might actually throw Itachi off balance when he sees what he did with the eyes of his clan members, dead clan members that he forced to kill, right? So that might play a trick on Itachi, like, mentally, seeing that, right? Especially Shisui's eye, because Shisui meant a lot to him. So he might be enraged and stops thinking clearly, and then Onoki comes with the zappy, right? Just particle styles the shiz out of him. But then again, yeah, Itachi is smart enough. I don't know, right? Danzo might throw him off balance, bro. Danzo is an interesting topic in this topic.
However, by this point, the Zetsu activated, started stealing all the Kage's chakra, and they would give it to Kisame and Itachi, and apparently if Onoki tries to particle style any of them, he would just save them if they couldn't react to it, apparently. So by that point in the summit, it's pretty much just kind of GG. Now, Itachi versus Onoki is like its own whole topic, same with Kisame and all that as well. But what do you think about it? Like, I don't even think it's necessary to answer, because by that time, once again, Obito gets there. And honestly, they might capture the Raikage as a hostage. They'd probably get Mei as a hostage, at least, like 100%. But
Sasuke,
what do you think would happen if they actually had to scrap Onoki? In the hypothetical, they probably wouldn't.
If they have to fight Onoki, like, let's say Obito is less willing to help Itachi than he is to help Sasuke, because he kind of doesn't care if Itachi dies, because he's trying to manipulate Sasuke at this point.
Maybe he's like a liability,
so,
you know?
If Obito is not going to enter, and we have Onoki versus Kisame and Itachi at this point, I think it goes sort of the same way it did in the other room with the Raikage. The reason being, Onoki is definitely part of the 5 Kage that were weaker than Hiruzen. Like it's just stated, it's stated implied just multiple times. Hiruzen was the strongest of that 5 Kage era, and I don't think Inoki's getting any stronger. If anything, Inoki's getting weaker because, you know, he's an old man. He probably peaked. Maybe he like keeps up his physical peak or something like that, similar to Guy. But Onoki should be weaker than Hiruzen. And then if you scale Itachi over Hiruzen the way everyone does, like through Orochimaru or through the signing, him just being generally stronger than the signing or seen at that level, I mean, you get pretty clear Itachi over Onoki scaling. And then with Kisame and his chakra draining abilities, it's a bit weird. How do we say like Kisame's Samehada would interact with particle style? Is it like, oh, particle style hits it, but somehow it's just absorbing it at the same time?
Like it's like a Renegon absorption thing, or is
but you're not hit with the particle style. You're pretty much like surrounded by it, and you just get zapped out of existence. So I don't think Samehada would be anything at that point. Like, so I don't think Kisame would have anything against Onoki, especially since Onoki is flying, so he can just like zap the shiz out of you from a distance, right? Itachi might have a fair shot because of Genjutsu, but like I said, Onoki has experience against Sharingan users because of Madara, like the strongest one. Even Madara gave Onoki props. The fence sitter is still alive, bro. So I think they're downplaying Onoki very, very much. And yeah, again, his argument is this guy is stronger than that guy, so that guy can, like, no, bro, like particle style is OP, and it just, what is Kisame gonna do? Like, you just, the argument is, oh, maybe Samehada can, okay, maybe Onoki can, I don't know, take his eye out and throw it at Kisame and kill him that way. Like, are we making shiz up now? Like, what he just said is just not proven. Like, we don't know whether Samehada, how he would interact with particle style, but I think, I mean, like, particle style goes around you, it doesn't hit you, it just goes around you, just zaps you. Like, I don't know. I mean, listen, maybe I'm talking out of my behind, but it just doesn't seem plausible. I still think, Kisame and Itachi are OP. They're gonna do heavy damage here and possibly defeat Onoki. It's a possibility, but I do think they're downplaying Onoki.
Is the particle style like so weird that it would just melt the sword or something? Or how much chakra is in the particle style blast? We don't actually, there's like no way to quantify like this particle style blast has exactly like 19 tails worth of version 1 Killer Bee. Like there's just no way just to say that, so it's kind of weird. It's implied Onoki doesn't necessarily have like massive amounts of chakra whenever he's mentioned. And it's more so as like his willpower keeps bringing him back into fights and stuff. One thing I'll say specifically about Onoki is I think he has insane attack potency for a Naruto character, in the sense that I think his particle style hits harder than any of the Kage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But one thing I think that Onoki has that's like weak for him is he's not very fast, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is he's clearly slower than the Raikage when they fight Madara. Like, the Raikage is clearly like the fast one there. You know what I mean?
But he can use that boulder jutsu to kind of make himself lighter, aka faster.
So we also see when he's like flying around, he's like flying around with Edo nerfed Datara as well. Not saying he's nerfed Datara level, but like that's really like one of the only other examples. And then other than that, you have like KCM Shadow Clone help him fight Mu, and then the Shadow Clone just kind of blows Mu away. So
I mean, there's also like, you know, if you want to contend Onoki being faster than the Raikage, which, I mean, come on now. But Onoki literally gets on the Raikage's back to lighten him, because he's like the fastest one there, so that they can move around the battlefield faster. So yeah, so I don't know. Even if he is faster than the Raikage, it's not by a significant degree from what we know of. And I don't really believe, like, you know, the Shadow Clones are going to be like 800 times Raikage's speed, and Onoki scales to that or something. It just doesn't seem in plot.
Yeah, but I mean, you can argue Sasuke was way faster than Onoki, and that didn't help him that much, bro. Like, Onoki still zapped him out of existence. If it wasn't for Toby, bro, like, GG.
With the 5 Kage battle, like, at all, in my opinion. But, yeah, so I mean, if Itachi scales like to Sasuke, he's above Sasuke, just pretty objectively. He might even be on the bridge of EMS Sasuke while alive, depending on how you interpret Edo or whatever. He should be like way fast enough to handle Onoki. Even if you think Onoki, for whatever reason, is just so durable, he can handle like a continent nuking meteor, like just no nerf. He just handled all the energy all himself, like it wasn't dispersed anywhere else. Otsuka Blade.
GG.
yeah, GG. Tsukuyomi, you know, like he has so many win cons.
Yeah, but you're saying like Totsuka Blade, I can say the same thing, particle style, GG. Like, at that point, it's who gets who first, like, right? You can't just be one-sided at the same time. Onoki can zap Itachi out of existence if Itachi's not careful, just like he can Totsuka Blade. I mean, actually, I think Onoki can do it faster than Itachi, because Itachi first needs to activate his Susanoo, then get the Totsuka Blade out and hit him in order to seal him. Onoki can just do this. You're done. So, I don't know. Okay, listen, I'm still giving it to Itachi, because Itachi has a Sharingan, he can put him in a Genjutsu, he has more ways to get to Onoki, right? But Onoki does have experience on his side and all that, so, hey!
Amaterasu, like, there's just so many ways Itachi could win, as well as the fact that if Kisame is fast enough or has the ability to absorb particle style, which, once again, absorbing particle style, that is its own little discussion. It's kind of unquantifiable. Yeah. I'll leave that up to you guys. Do you think Kisame can absorb particle style? Because he could absorb just like Bijou cloaks on contact, you know, which is pretty impressive. And Bijou cloaks are considered like godly amounts of chakra. Like, Jinchuriki chakra is considered so massive, it's like incomparable, you know. So, I do think it's probable, and Kisame is probably fast enough to scrap with Onoki if Datara and Sasuke and the Raikage are. So, that's just my take on it. I think that at the end of the day, though, they probably wouldn't fight Onoki Obito would step in and be like, all right, we got a hostage. Like, you wanted to listen yet? You know, like, you're going to war. And then he and the boys would just, like, vanish into the ether. And that'd be it. But, yeah, anyways, that's all I have to say about the video. I don't know if you have any more to add to that.
The only thing I would say is, just for the comments, keep in mind, this is a 5 Kage that aren't as well coordinated as they were with Madara.
Right. We're
That's
more
true.
so putting Itachi and Kisame in the same position that Sasuke went through in the manga. Like those set, it's almost like a gauntlet.
Yeah,
it's like almost like the
it's
Kage
literally like a
gauntlet. Like, you know, if you're playing like Storm, it's like, all right, mission 1, Raikage, Darui, and C battle, and then mission 2, Mei and Chojuro battle, or something like that. You know, that kind of energy. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And till next time.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Listen, this was a fun little discussion video. Okay, they made some good points, some bad points. But yeah, it is interesting whether Kisame can absorb particle style or not, considering that particle style doesn't really attack you directly, it just envelops you and then zaps you out of existence. So it's not really the same as a physical attack, like when a Jinchuriki charges at you and you get to chop its chakra. So I don't know. Like, does Samehada possess the same capabilities as the Rinnegan's ability to absorb chakra? Because that, like, I don't know. Tell me in the comments what you think. But yeah, I think they kind of did the whole Kage-sama dirty, like saying that Danzo would run away. I don't know. I think because it's Itachi, he might actually want to stay and take his revenge, or just, right? Because I think that would mess up Itachi's mind a bit, seeing that he has Shisui and all those Sharingan, right? And Izanagi ain't no joke. He can rewrite reality a couple of times, and maybe Onoki in one of those times zaps him out of existence. I don't know. So yeah, it's very. I don't know. I still give Itachi and Kisame a way better chance than Sasuke had, right? So they might actually zap all of them and kill them, but we don't know. We don't know. And they just eliminated Mei like that. Maybe Mei with her vapor style can get to them, or I don't know. Like, Itachi, we know, isn't healthy a la Itachi, so is he that durable like Sasuke was? Then again, we did see them fight, so I guess he was pretty durable when he wanted to be, even though that cost him his life in the end. So, there's a lot of ways this could go, but it was definitely a fun little discussion, and yeah, I would definitely give Itachi and Kisame a better shot than the 5 Kage Summit, but I would still think Pain would do better. I don't know, Pain's OP in my opinion, but listen, that's all I have for you today. I really enjoyed this video, hope you enjoyed the reaction, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, love you, enjoy, and bye.